Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Spitball Media Podcast. We're going to be spitting out a shit ton of big entertainment stories, the top entertainment stories of the week, which we do each and every week here at the Spitball Media Podcast. That's it. My name is John Draper. Shaheen, how are you?
I'm good, man. There's been a lot of shootings here, so I'm still alive. No
Big
stray
uptick.
bullets got me.
Big
You know?
uptick in the shootings there in Philly. So, be
Yeah, I
careful.
think I don't know, like 10 people got shot yesterday during the Eid. It's fucking crazy because it's like a religious ceremony where they were giving away free food to the Muslims that were fasting, and then everybody got shot. So it's
Yeah. Yeah, well, that means less people getting the food if you shoot a bunch of people. That means
yeah,
more
yeah.
food for the people with the guns. Makes sense. And of course, Bishop O'Brien, I was wearing almost that exact same shirt today. I'm not even joking with you. I'll take a picture of it and send it to you later.
The flannel one?
Yeah, well, I thought I had an 11 o'clock on camera meeting, and normally I just brushed my teeth at that point. Like I take a midday shower, and I was like, oh fuck, I got a meeting. I got to put a shirt on. And then it wasn't until 2 o'clock. So I was like, oh fuck. I didn't need to back to the pajamas.
I did
Back
that the other day too. They were watching the eclipse outside, and I had a meeting virtually, and I walked out because someone was clanging vodka bottles trying to pour a drink. I'm like, I got a client on the line, and I'm standing in a white
Jesus.
button down with gym shorts on and like
Oh yeah.
not like high socks and no shoes. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
summer's coming, so you got to get ready, Bisho. That sounds like a good summer outfit for you.
Yeah, just walk around in a button down with gym shorts,
Yeah,
flip
almost
flops.
like a summer mankind outfit. Like
Oh
mankind in the
yeah.
summertime. But hey, if you people join us for the first time, thanks for checking us out. We really appreciate it. But you'd be doing us a big favor if you went on over to patreon.com/spitball media. For $5 a month, we're talking, I think, 1,300 hours of exclusive content going back to the Break the Apocalypse days, height of COVID, like the world falling apart, all the bonus shows, all the solo shows. Shah, they get it all for a low price.
Yeah, man, $5. We got a couple new Patreons I saw signed up. I think like 3 in the last week. So shout out to them. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Cleric of the Chaos, I think, signed up today. So
Oh, well,
shout out to-
we're big fans of the Cleric of Chaos.
Yeah.
We've known him for quite some time. Bisho O'Brien, you love the Patreon.
I love the Patreon because like we talk about topical stuff here, but then the Patreon lets us dive into other things. So like if we want to talk about something that we don't have time for on the show that's really cool, we can get into it. Or one thing I might do is sometimes the Q&A, because we have 3 people answering a bunch of questions.
Right.
Sometimes there's a question that comes in that might maybe merit a longer show or a longer answer. And I might start doing that with the Q&A shows, is breaking one out and going forward with that. So lots of cool shit we can do with Patreon, and it's all because you guys support us. So thank you very much for that.
And a lot of people in the Patreon, Shah, as you and I know and Bisho know, have been here since day 0. Like we have a lovely retention record with quite a few people going back to almost 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, we have a smaller community compared to a lot of podcasts, but they're very
Oh, yeah.
dedicated. So shout out to all of you. We appreciate it. If it wasn't for
Yeah.
you guys, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I forget who's it, Joey Diaz, who said, I'd rather have, I just need 3. You just need 3 fucking friends. You just need 3 guys. That's it. 3 or 4 guys. That's it. That's all you need. I'll take 3 or 4 guys, Bisho, like that will take my back, like our kind of community over like 100 guys that just say they would but would never show up.
Yeah, I've always been surrounded by people who are fake, like, oh, hey, buddy, hey, buddy, are you, to random ass people and people they meet 2 or 3 times. It's like, I'm not for that. Like my daughter the other day said something about like, Dad, why don't you have friends? I'm like, I do have
Your
friends.
daughter said, I'm sorry, what was that? You said that very quick.
My daughter said, why don't you have friends? I'm like, I do. I have Justin next door. I've got Wes across the street. I've got this person here, this person there. And she's like, oh, but you guys don't text a lot. I'm like, that's because guys don't text all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get that too. You know, like I got a good friend right now. We got like this good couple friend of ours who are getting divorced, and like it's really ugly, and I'm trying to stay away from it because I get married the way people blow their nose. Like, you know, I don't need another fucking. I am too old for another ex-wife. This is not ex-wife material. Like this, you know what I'm saying, Shah? Like this is not dating scene. Look, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I've dodged 3 divorces so far, so I'm kind of.
You probably have.
I have. No, 100%. I have.
You definitely have.
Because I've been in 3 back-to-back long-term relationships, and then So yeah, I've dodged those and no kids. So I think I've dodged a lot of bullets so far, Because
Yeah,
honestly, dude, like all my friends, they're either like miserably married and just fucking or going through divorces, and I'm like, well,
yeah, it's rough.
yeah,
Yeah.
lonely at times, but fuck, man, at least I don't have to fucking pay alimony and child
Oh no,
support.
child support. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but your breakups are like divorces, right? When you say that B show, like
yeah, well,
Shah's
yeah.
I was
breakups, like his breakups are not like normal, like we dated for a while, we broke up, we don't talk anymore. These are like, I'm going to court to kill you, motherfucker. I'm gonna hit you with my
Yeah.
car. I'm gonna poison you. I put glass in your food.
I was gonna
Right. I
say
mean, the last two I think were the worst ones. The one previous to that was 5 years. Then I had the 7 year, and then
That's
I,
right.
I had the
I know
two
about
years.
all these.
So
I know about a bunch of
I'm
these.
back
Well,
to back to back to back.
you've been
yeah,
married just without the ring.
yeah,
Right,
you've been
exactly.
married more than me
Yo,
and B show,
I
Brian.
got a ring once. The
I know that
7 year
too.
one actually
I
gave
know
me a
that
ring
too.
during Christmas, and I didn't know how to react to that because I was just caught off guard. I was like, oh fuck, like
So I was
I
like, you
don't.
want to order some food? You want to
Yeah,
get
I
some
was like,
Postmates?
shit, man. I got you some fucking clothes and shit. You got me a goddamn ring. Like, how do I react to this?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
rough, dude. It's rough and tumble. Speaking of rough, let's talk about the rough and tumble crew we got chilling with us tonight. I'm gonna say shout out to Mr. Punches, Joe Punches, that is. Of course, my buddy Rich Dow, Kepco TV. We got Chris Matthews, we got Eric Turner, we got Steve Colantuno. What else do we got? I think I skipped some people. Sorry about that, guys.
Cleric of
Uh,
Chaos.
Cleric of Chaos, of course, Mr. Isaacs. Slave Cheeks is chilling. The Dirkster, Dirk One, Dirk One. I'm gonna start calling him Dirk One because he's constantly changing his name and then get mad at me for not remembering it. But yeah, great crew. Thank you guys for chilling. And of course, our pal Chris Matthews is in there. My God, listen, it's been a crazy week. And for those of you that have been following the show for a little bit or have been with the show even for a little while or longer or whatever, we kind of have a thing here where the three of us, for very specific reasons, do not talk a lot of wrestling. We never have. It was never a point of the show. It's kind of the point of the show is to not talk about wrestling. The Drew Yarsifer is there. Marquise is there. My buddy Marquise Johns. Anyway, there have been occasions though where we've broke with this, and tonight's going to be one of them. We have a bunch of significant movies to talk about in the free tonight, and we're going to get to three incredible trailers, very different films that we're all excited about. But again, consider going to patreon.com/spitball media, $5. You can even get on this upcoming Q&A we got at the end of the month. But here's the deal. We decided offline that we were going to talk about the CM Punk video because this whole circumstance is so batshit crazy, and it's just gotten so significantly worse that it bears talking about, quite frankly. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we are going to talk about it, and then we're going to get to our movie stuff. First and foremost, I want to go to Shah because Shah's the least connected to wrestling, whereas we go back years ago, he was the most connected to wrestling and worked in the industry, worked with performers, worked with worked with a company that was getting off the ground. So he's done a lot of stuff in the industry that Bisho and I have never done. Okay, so Shah, I just want to back this up a little bit. No CM Punk interaction ever in your life, correct? I just want to make sure for the purpose of the
No, I
conversation.
mean, I was in the same building as him once, but I mean, I've never talked to the guy. I don't know anything about CM Punk now.
Okay, what about people you've worked with? And your sort of before we get into this, did you like what was your opinion of Punk generally before the controversies in the last 18 months?
I've always been a fan of Punk. I've always liked him. I felt like, if I hung out with him, I'd probably get along with him because I'm pretty grumpy myself. Like, if I was a wrestler, I'd probably very much be like him. Like, I wouldn't like to be around people, and I just wouldn't like the fans. Like, I can understand where he's coming from with that.
Yeah.
However, I do think that he's gotten an ego, but I mean, at the same time, I can't really blame the guy because I mean, if you're in his position, how do you not have an ego? You have to have an ego to get to that position. So I don't know, a lot of stuff that he does. I don't want to say makes sense to me, but I can forgive it because I can put myself in his position. I'd be like, yeah, I'd probably be a piece of shit too. I mean, I can't lie. Like, I mean,
Okay.
imagine if you had millions of dollars and you were fucking wrestling for Ian Rotten and you made it to the WWE and became the biggest star. And like, I mean, come on, man, your ego has to go through the fucking roof. It's natural.
Oh
We're
yeah.
humans.
Yeah, for sure. B-Show Brian, prior to 18 months ago, I don't recall you and I ever really talking about Punk that much. What was your opinion of Punk prior to AEW?
Prior to AEW, I was a fan of his from WWE. I think I'm a huge fan of his, but I also understand that he does come off as like a pretentious, very showy, very everyone look at me, huddle around me. I need to be the guy kind of person. That said, I'm a huge fan of his work. I never thought he was, Ric Flair in the ring, but he didn't need to be because he could talk people into the building. And that was what I liked about him at a time when you had Seth Rollins doing the, two-step around the ring, with their
Mm,
corny, pre-arranged matches and stuff like that. He was a guy
right.
who was just talking. And he was a throwback to the old days, stuff that I liked.
Mm,
So I was a big fan of his when he left. I was a huge fan of what he said about WWE because I think all of us thought those things as fans, that this is a shit that happens. They're petty, they're spiteful. Um, I do recognize that he has a tendency to diminish his role in anything. Like even with the Errol Hawani interview he did, he's talking about all the shit that happened in AEW, and every time it comes to him, he's like, I was just, it's like, oh, come on, man.
yeah.
So that's not lost to me. So anyone who wants to say that we're Punk fans and we're going to defend him, whatever, I will admit 1000% that he seems like he can be a dick and has to have attention, a
Mm,
little bit of a drama queen, and probably
yeah.
diminishes his role in things. But it doesn't mean he's not good. And it doesn't mean he wasn't right in this situation. And I'm sure we'll
Right.
get to that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's very different. I've never been able to kind of be objective because he's literally from my scene. Like he is a person from my scene. He is a fan of not only hardcore music, but New York hardcore music. He's a Chicago guy. I've been on a stage with him when he was the WWE champ when I was not watching wrestling and I was extremely drunk. And my youngest brother, Mark, who you guys, probably the only one you guys don't know, said, "Wow, I just met WWE champ." And we were on stage at a big festival, hardcore festival in New York. And he goes, "Yeah, he's right there." And he just looked like everybody else. And I've said this before. So it's difficult for me. He's a hardcore guy. He likes comic books. I mean, and he likes wrestling and horror movies. Okay, and he's a dick. I mean, he's not a cool guy. He's a very jaded, middle-aged, straight-edge guy. So I get it, but yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan, but I respected that he's probably in my world the most famous person ever. Like he's the most famous hardcore guy in the world in my very small universe. So that's how I perceive him. He's wearing my friend's shirts. It's Clobbering Time is a derivative of one of my closest friends' bands, from Sick of It All. Just that's his, and he's wearing Cro-Mag shirts and, he's friends with a lot of people that are friends with my brother. So it's different, my brother Mark. So it's difficult for me. That being said, I was always very objective about him being a dick because I know a lot of straight edge guys in their 40s. They're very much like Punk. And I've said this before, this upsets people, but I've been around straight edge since 1988. This is just something I've checked, something I've noticed, right? So we heard about this video. Long story short, unless you've been living under a rock, Punk got into a physical altercation a couple years ago at a pay-per-view with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega that led to his banning. And then they gave him his own show. And then all of this coalesced around Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, Luke Perry's son, an incident that they had that we had heard about that no one had ever seen. And then Punk does an Ariel Helwani video the weekend of WrestleMania talking about the event line for line. And people get very upset, Shah. And the reaction from Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, who had footage of this, they decided to make it an angle. Now, before we talk about the fucking angle, Shah, when you heard they were showing this footage, what was your expectations?
Shit, man. I thought it was going to be a lot more brutal than this. I mean, this was the most underwhelming fight I've ever seen in my fucking life. This was like it's like a cat fight. I don't even know what they were going for. This is like embarrassing to even put this up,
Slap, slap, slap.
And before we get into that, I didn't rub shoulders with Punk at all, but I did know Jungle Boy because he came through GCW.
Oh, I didn't know that. I probably should have asked
Yeah,
you.
I mean, he got hired by GCW. That was the first company that he worked for was GCW.
Interactions with him? Did you have interactions with him?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your opinion on him?
He's kind of a dickhead, I thought.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay. We've never talked about this.
He was one of those guys that was like very full of him. So he was very cocky early on. So like I kind of see why they say he's kind of full of himself because I experienced that vibe. He didn't do anything to me or anything, but in the GCW locker room, like it was most people were humble. It's a very small niche, like
that
crowd.
Doesn't seem like a place, Shah, where you could have an ego and get away with it.
Yeah, I don't I don't associate that with anybody really up there.
Okay.
He was one of the main ones that I thought was immediately off the bat thinking he's above indie
Wow.
wrestling and just like, I don't know. So I mean, maybe it's because he's a son of a star.
Was his dad around? Did his dad come to the East Coast for his shows? Because he's following him around a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I think he did to one of the LA shows, but I never saw.
Yeah, he was at some shows. B-Show Brian, what was your Jungle Boy opinion there?
When he first came in, I thought he was like, okay, plucky baby face. They gave him the song. I can't remember the name of the artist.
The Jungle Boy song by Jungle Boy, who died
Tarzan
of AIDS.
Boy. Yeah,
Tarzan Boy. Yeah,
Tarzan Boy by Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore died of AIDS. The actual somebody like one of the singers in that died of AIDS a long time ago. He's been dead forever.
But
Still
I
dead.
thought I thought he was okay for what he was. First coming out, green, baby face, just kind of learning the ropes. Seemed like he had some promise, although he was kind of small. And with the Tarzan Boy thing, people kind of gravitated toward that. And I thought, okay, for AEW, for what it is, for being new, fine, let's see what happens. And then he just never really progressed. And that was it. So I didn't know anything personally about him other than stories I'd heard online about him kind of being standoffish and a dick.
Yeah.
But as a performer, I thought when he first started out, I thought maybe he has some promise, but it's been.
Me too. Me too.
It's been,
I mean,
ever since.
I always thought the gimmick, I may have said this on Soup back in the day, but when they did the thing with the Jurassic Express, I always thought loosely that the idea was that the dinosaur fucks Jungle Boy and Jungle Boy fucks Marco Stunt. I always thought it was almost like one of those nesting dolls.
Centipede?
Yeah, like a human centipede. No, I'm serious. I always thought, and I think I said that on Soup once. I was like, does the dinosaur fuck Jungle Boy? Is that what this is? Is this like, and then he gets to fuck the little guy? Like, I was just wondering if they were going to have like little versions of each one, like human centipede in each other.
Like a fucking pecking order.
Yeah, like in the mouth, like right in the mouth, just right in the mouth. Yeah. So anyway, so we got to see, they built up this footage. Many people immediately said this was a bad idea. Smart people were like, this is not going to help the company. It's not really going to make a difference there. And boy, were they right, B-Show. Now, we don't want to show the video because of copyright strikes. Shout out to Will T. Aaron Eccles is in there. I think David Byrne, whoever else joined in there. Thank you, guys. So they made an angle out of it with the Young Bucks, who are, really sort of going over a cliff here with a lot of people since this whole incident. They made it a gimmick that the EVPs are evil, but it's real. They are, because the company sided, I guess, with them and Jungle Boy and whoever else over Punk. But this is a very underwhelming, like almost like statistically speaking, this is something that could happen, Shah, in any job, in any environment, or even amongst friends, and it would not be considered a big deal. Would you agree?
Well, especially in the wrestling setting. I mean, how many backstage fights have you heard of?
Oh my God. How many backstage fights have you heard of?
Yeah, I mean, that's like regular shit, right? So for them to make it look like Punk is like the most unprofessional and this has never been done before, it's like, dude, this is fucking wrestling. Like this.
Yeah. Remember, Tony Khan said he feared for his life on national television. He went out on live TV and said he feared for his life.
It's a bunch of roided up dudes with a lot of testosterone stuck in the same room.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen, man. I mean, I haven't watched AEW really ever. I think I caught their first episode, so I don't really know like what happened, what caused this. So I don't know if you guys can fill me in on the background. I don't know what caused this, but
yeah. So B-Show, you want to fill him in on this briefly?
Yeah. So
Punk was by the way, this is according to Punk, Shah. So
yes. So Punk was having issues with everything he said so far, as far as we've seen, corroborated by video evidence, has been accurate. So I'm going to assume it is. Punk was having issues with the Young Bucks. They were allegedly being kind of shitty and catty with him, not doing business, things like that. They tried to burst into his locker room. I think we talked about that one. Dog got kicked. They got knocked out by him and Ace Steel. And Punk got sent away, as John said, banned from Wednesday nights. They gave him the Saturday night show. That becomes a success. So everything's supposed to be split. They send Jungle Boy to work on Saturday, and he wants to do some stupid angle with a car window. And he cusses out Tony Schiavone, a doctor, all the staff. And then finally they come to Punk and say, hey, can you come talk some sense into him? Punk says he talks some sense into him, talks him down from it. Hey, if you break this window, it's a rent-a-car, fucks it up for the rest of us. So then they go to the show. And on this show,
this is Jungle in Wembley. Now fast forward, they're in the UK shot, like their biggest show of all time.
Still having issues. Punk doesn't get picked up at the airport, has to take the train. Just still petty shit going on. Young Bucks saying shit on TV and claiming tee hee hee. It's all fun. Jack Perry breaks a car windshield at Wembley. And after the match, this happens in Gorilla. Tony's sitting, I guess, to the right behind the monitors.
Well, he says something when he breaks the glass.
Oh yeah, he said, "Real glass, cry me a river."
Real glass, cry me a river with his Northern Cali, Young Bucks, Brian Alvarez, Southern California accent. Cry me a river.
Cry me a river, dude.
Boner shrinking voice. All these people have boner shrinker voices.
Yeah, no shit. How does anyone get wet listening to that shit? I don't know. Fucking. Anyway, so they go backstage after the match, right before Punk's title defense with Joe, and this happens. Punk confronts him. He kind of gets into Punk's, direct area. They say he chest bumped him. I just saw him kind of get in his face.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy kind of takes a step back and plays with his hair. Punk, that's when the fight happens. Punk shoves him, chokes him out, stuff like that.
Right. And during this is all according to Punk Shah. During this, Punk goes over to him and goes, "What's your fucking problem?" Whatever. And they start arguing. He goes, "Why are you doing this indie shit?" Blah, blah, blah. And then he says something to him like, "I'm going to fuck you up," or something like that. And then Jungle Boy said, "Do something about it." And then you see Punk lunge at him. Joe comes over, breaks it up. People in the back are like, "Oh, oh." Well, and then, Punk storms off, because he's got a match with Samoa Joe, which was probably maybe one of the best matches of the night, by the way, low key. And then he subsequently, Bryan Danielson and a bunch of people watch it. They had to pretend that they have an NDA, and they fire Punk because Tony Khan feared for his life. Now, everybody's seen the video now, Shah. Now, did you see anything in that video where you think someone should fear for their life or their wife or even spilling a drink?
No, not at all. But I have a question for you guys. And this kind of shows how inexperienced the company as a whole is. Why would they go to CM Punk to try to school this guy if they know Punk is notorious for being a hothead? Like, what made them?
Well, because at that time, I think I can explain that, because at that time, Punk was hot shit. He was the number one guy in the company. And
yeah, but it doesn't matter, though. That doesn't change his personality.
He's hot shit. I mean, everybody.
I guarantee you, if they went to Danny O'Brien or Brian, whatever the fuck he's called now, like that probably would have been a better option. If they wanted somebody that's an OG in the game to kind of school this young kid, CM Punk would have been my last option. Because how Punk feels about people in this scenario.
Yeah, but prior to that, I don't know if Bischoff, if you remember this, Danhausen, all these other people were talking about how great Punk is. Punk wore Danhausen's boots, and Punk, this is a very different CM Punk. He's friends with everybody in the back. You don't remember that, Bischoff? They were all lining up to go to Punk before that happened.
In fact, Danhausen, after this video aired last night, which I thought was kind of risky, posted some kind of funny meme in response to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that. I mean, Punk definitely has his people, and they set him up in his own little camp on Saturdays. And that show was far and away better than Wednesday night.
It was when it started. Shah, it was a great show. I mean, it was very good. It was. I liked it. It was slowly becoming my favorite wrestling show.
By the way, that Danhausen dude, I actually saw him for the first time at Spring Break during Mania Week. That guy sucks, dude. I don't know what the fuck people are seeing. That guy sucks.
He's like a quasi hardcore guy too. He's a little bit of a.
I don't give a shit. That guy sucks, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's not anybody that I like the gimmick, because I think it was a good idea. It was an interesting idea, but that dude's.
What is the gimmick? He just like pours teeth into people's mouths.
I thought it was like Sven Gulli, like Chiller Theater type thing. Like, I don't know, but he's another.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, Sven Gulli. That's what reminded me of.
They should have given him a group to kind of manage, almost like Bray Wyatt, and just do fake.
Well, he was hurt too. This is what I'm saying. A lot of these guys like FTR, they all like, they love Punk. There's Punk guys, like blah blah blah. A lot of some of the younger guys, were all. And then as soon as like he wasn't there, it was like he was terrible. So this bombed. This people that normally support the company were very visceral in their response that this was a terrible idea. It only drew a total 819,000. And then it subsequently went, I think the numbers for the close for the main event, like it just kept going. Like, this is how it starts. They get the strong lead in from fucking, I was going to say Third Rock from the Sun, because I'm 100 years old. Strong lead in from Big Bang Theory, right? Because 1 million people watch that in reruns plus easily. And then they go, and then they peter out. But the thing I wanted to get your guys' opinion of, and then we have a bunch of movie stuff, is what happens now? Now that we have seen the usual suspects, the Fightful people, the Alvarezes, the Meltzers, like just take a load right to the face because they refuse. Like Meltzer and Alvarez are now backpedaling about it, but they also gave conflicting information saying that the Bucks didn't want to do it, but then Sean Ross Sapp said, well, they did want to do it. And it's just like, you don't know who to believe anymore because none of these people have a track record of any kind of honesty when it comes to AEW. And, sitting back, being somebody who took a lot of shit from these people and the people who follow these people for like 5 fucking years straight, if not more, it's a bit of Schadenfreude for me, because I'm like, yeah, we fucking told you. You know what I mean? Like we said this on Wrestling Soup when no one else said it. We paid a very heavy price for it at the time. I want to know what happens now. In your opinion, what happens now? Because it failed. People are upset about it. The people defending it will defend them if they were found with a gas can in a building burning. And it's like, well, we didn't start the fire. We didn't know that. So now that's it. It's now definitely left to the cult members. Shah, what happens now, in your opinion? Does AEW rebound from this? Does it even affect them? Or do they just keep plugging along like they were, while WWE is making record profits and getting billions of dollars as a corporation?
Well, I think everyone involved looks bad, including CM Punk. Because I don't know how you guys feel. Like Punk was kind of at fault. Like the guy didn't touch him. He's the one.
Well, you don't know what he said to him. I mean, we all know.
Doesn't matter though. If you're
every fight starts with somebody getting provoked by words.
Right. But at the end of the day, if you've been in the business for 25 years, you should know better. Yeah. Right before the main event in Wembley, like, come on, man. You can.
Yeah, but his ego is massive. His ego.
That's what I mean, though. If you can't control your ego after 25 years of experience in this business, it doesn't say good things about you. At the same time, them releasing this fucking tape is a horrible look for them because it seems so petty. Like, it's just like, dude,
it is petty.
You guys waited till after WrestleMania till they had their moment just to try to like babyface yourself, and it backfired. Now you're a fucking meme on the internet. It's a bad look for everyone, And the Young Bucks, like, dude, those guys. Oh man, I just said Danhausen sucks. Those guys are fucking atrocious at everything, man. Like, like that gimmick was cool when like nobody knew them. And
on the indies, on the indies when it was
when they were killing PWG and Ring of Honor, like back in it, but it got old. It's stale. If they're still doing the same shtick as fucking 15 years ago, like, come on, man.
Shah, have you ever worked with them?
No, I almost did. I did they did a shoot interview and I did the cover for it and they shut it down. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, they shut it down. Yeah. They didn't like it.
Okay. But
so that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, honestly.
What happens now? No impact on AEW. Everything stays static. Do you think their numbers drop? Do you think they make another video trying to make up for the previous video?
Yeah, I think their best bet is to just no sell this and keep it moving, man. Let the CM Punk thing go, dude. It's old. He's already signed with another company. The other company. I watched WrestleMania. I haven't watched WrestleMania in 3 years. I thoroughly enjoyed both nights for the most part. I was
surprised. I was surprised you told me that.
They're saying fuck left and right now. Like I was like, yo, what am I watching? Like what happened here?
They waited for you to come back, Shah. That's what it was.
Dude, honestly, like they kind of sold me on it. If it was on Netflix right now, I'd probably start watching Raw. I just don't have cable.
It will be next year. So
yeah, I mean next year I might tune back in. But I'm gonna, I know we're talking about Punk, but just real quick, I'm gonna credit 90% of that to The Rock. Because
of course, yeah.
Dude, that guy is meant to be a wrestler. Please stop acting. That's not made for you. Like wrestling is where the fuck you need to be at. You know what I mean?
He's got
like
8 movies coming out in the next 3 years. So. He literally left to start the Mark Kerr movie, and then he's got to do the live action Moana movie.
And Roman Reigns stepped it up, dude. Like I haven't seen Roman wrestle in the whole time he's been champion, and I was like, yo, this guy is a heel is fucking money. Like this is exactly what he needs to be.
What did you think of Cody?
I'm not a Cody fan, dude. He's too like vanilla for me. Like he reminds me of a better version of John Cena, like this like all-American hero.
So like a white John Cena
comic book. Yeah, it's just
he's white Cena. Cody is white.
What do you mean, Johnny don't have that voice?
Yeah.
He's white Cena.
I mean, he's talented though. I can't discredit the guy, man. I mean, the guy was doing nothing.
Anything bad about any of these guys because of how look, you can like even me. I'm not a big Cody guy. I'm not a big Roman guy. But to sit here and say anything bad after this weekend seems very, I don't know, seems a little silly. You know what I mean?
Like, I can't say I'm a fan, but I can't discredit the guy for bringing himself to this stage. Like he did that on his own, you know. I remember when they let go of Cody, dude, he was doing PWG matches, you know, like
Yeah,
this guy was
he did
doing
everything. He
moves.
did the gambit. That's like how
Yeah,
he
like,
became
he put in the
wrestling
work. He
Jesus.
knew, like, yo, I gotta get myself over. Similar to what Matt Cardona's doing right now. You know what I mean? Like
Very
Zack
similar.
Ryder was
Yeah.
dog shit. This guy is huge on the indies now. You know what I mean? Soon
Yeah.
enough, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, he's gonna blow up, and WWE's gonna get him back, and he's gonna be a
Well,
fucking
yeah,
star.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's there before the end of the year.
I've never worked with Cody, no.
Yeah,
And
people
I,
want to know
I
if you
worked
worked
at
with Cody.
I worked at Starcast and did their whole pamphlet, so I did some art in reference to him, but I mean not directly working with Cody. But I
Yeah,
worked with
yeah.
Conrad during the whole
Oh yeah, I remember.
Starcast thing.
B-Show Brian, what happens now?
It's hard to tell because as Punk said during that interview, as long as Tony wants to bankroll this thing, and as long as TNT or TBS is willing to play ball, I don't know if anything's ever really going to happen. However, I am seeing a big sea change with people online lately, saying that this could be it, that they're finally done. It's too childish. It's a bunch of kids. I mean, honestly, that's why I posted that clip of fucking heavyweights last night, because that's what it is. It's like a
Heavyweights.
giant summer camp with a bunch of kids
It's
that
a
get to
spite
do whatever
store.
they want to do.
It's Larry David's spite store. It's not a company. It's not run like CM Punk said it, guys. I don't know if you saw it, shot too, but CM Punk said, we're not in the same business. I'm in the business to sell tickets, make money, get people to show up, buy merchandise. They're not in that business. Like I'm in that business. I'm in the wrestling business. They're not in that business. B-Show, do you think next week huge dip in ratings?
I don't know if there's going to be a huge dip, but I think if there's if this is their finger poke of doom moment, I
As
wouldn't be
people say.
surprised at all.
Okay.
I think it exposes them. I think it exposes everything that you guys on Soup were saying for years, and a lot of
Yeah,
people that
5
weren't
years ago.
sucking the Kool-Aid down were saying
Yeah.
online that were
Yeah.
fucking like that's one of the reasons I stopped watching wrestling for a while, and I don't really interact as much as I used to on social media, is because you post anything if it's negative about AEW, and you
Yeah.
have a bunch of spurgy dudes coming at you like
Oh yeah.
who don't understand contextual language, they don't understand anything.
Sarcasm. Don't understand sarcasm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like you'll post a joke, it's like, oh, Jungle Boy's hair is very luxurious. Well, that's because he uses Pert Plus for men. It's like it's a fucking joke, dude. Like
Yeah.
they don't
Oh
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah. People
And,
respond
and,
to jokes. Yeah.
and everything is super serious. It's like dealing with Sheldon from Big Bang Theory all the time, which
Yeah.
is ironic.
Very Asperger. Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
true.
And it's just that's kind of why I got away with it from it, because it wasn't fun. And then on top of that, the people that were covering it that I would listen to, like I'd listen to JD in doses. I would listen to Monster. I'm sure those are both great guys. But the way they were tongue punching that company for months,
And they were. And look, I know them personally. They were. And they're not
and
anymore.
and all the other people that
Not
started
anymore.
podcasts, or
Yeah.
migrated away from, and thank God JD grew a set. I mean, I saw him 2 years ago that he got fucking pounced on for saying Jade Cargill wasn't ready. She still doesn't look like she's ready.
Yeah.
And
Ironically. Yeah.
his response to her saying that he's sitting in his basement was to film him doing 135 squats, saying she's such a fucking motivation
Well,
for him.
but here's
And
the
it's
funny
like,
thing about JD. JD had more people in his chat about AEW than they had in the arena. By he had 6,000 people in a chat, and they had 3,200 people in the arena. So
and
you
good
could,
for him, man. I'm not
so
gonna knock the hustle. The dude
kind of
has,
hard to argue with that. Listen, I just
yeah.
want to say this because I really want to get to these movie things, but the best thing about any of this for me is watching the people who have not objectively covered this company get their ass handed to them by people online. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I hope it affects their bottom line. A lot of these people need to go back to get jobs, because unless they either go work for AEW, stop pretending that you're a journalist, stop pretending that you didn't start watching wrestling in 2018, like just stop, because I started watching in like 82. Like, I'm sorry that I have only devoted an hour of this a week to my life, but to talk about. But I think a lot of these people, and for people to take their money, put it away from those people, and pull it away from any of the people that have not objectively covered this company for access journalism, because it's been going on too long. It's been going on forever. And a lot of people paid prices for this. So, please keep that in mind as these numbers dwindle and people now start going, wow, the show really is terrible. Wow, these really are bad people. Wow, these fake journalists and, are really just mentally ill people with no social skills that devoted all of their time and identity to a wrestling company so that they could get pictures at the party like this and that's their life. That was never my life. That was never gonna be my life. Good for you if you're the top guy in fake wrestling news. You're the skinniest kid at fat camp. This was not an aspiration I have ever had in my life. Zero. This is stuff I done recreationally for fun with people I like the success of my older brother. Period. That's it. That's all it is. I like talking with people about it. I'll continue to talk with people about it. But you need to start calling these people the usual suspects on the carpet, pull your money away from them, and stop talking about them, because this is what makes their peepees hard. And that's the only way to fucking impact these people. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. But we have 3 huge fucking movies to talk about, all which debuted red hot fucking trailers this week. And the one we're going right to, I think, is not to speak for the guys, is the Ty West conclusion to his incredible trilogy, which is just maybe one of the most anticipated movies of the year on this show. I am talking about the sequel to X, the 3rd installment to Pearl. We're talking about Maxine and the A24 summer movie. That's the trailer was finally released. So we're going to talk about it and stop it and start it as we do, because, we don't want to get copyright strikes. So we're going to play the Maxine trailer for you right now.
So, Maxine, your agent tells us you're quite a popular name in adult film and entertainment. Is that correct? I'm curious, did you always want to be in that line of work?
I always
Goddamn.
wanted to be famous.
Is she your new
If you need
favorite,
to read
John?
off the sides we
She's
gave you,
good.
just go ahead, all right?
I know the lines.
Be a fucking goth.
Yeah,
She
same.
turns to the camera
this
and
girl.
through her
If I ever
trunk-
get
Close-
married, I'd cheat on him in a second with her.
Let's not forget that Mia Goth is deeply and profoundly and has children with Shia LaBeouf and stood by him through all of his craziness, arrests, accusals of sexual misconduct.
Oh.
And she was a down girl, did not leave her man, and he credits her for saving his fucking life. Can you believe that, John?
She's a little crazy though. That stuff probably turned her on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
She seems like the type that would get wet from toxicity.
This girl has sex appeal, B-show to fill the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, she's.
I was going to say, Shah, I don't think you're dissuading John. I think you're only making the desire stronger.
I mean, look, guy, she had. I mean, I know this is a porn star character, but she has complete sex appeal. Like, she's not the prettiest. She's not the most stunning beauty. She's not the Barbie girl. Like, you know what I mean? But she just has this. You know what I'm saying, B-show? She just has this like almost sexual fucking energy.
It's
So
just
You
an
just
aura.
know she's a freak. You just know it. You can just look at her and just know in real life this girl's a freak.
Let's see her do some freaky shit.
I would feel terrible if she's like the sweetest, most innocent.
I know, right? She's like
person.
devout Christian. This is all an act.
addresses the lens directly.
So this is based in the 80s, 1985 LA porn
Name 5
scene.
celebrities
Horror
who got
scene.
their start in
Which
horror
we didn't know
movies.
about
Jamie
this,
Lee
guys.
Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
Maxine fucking Minx.
I don't
And
like
they've
walking around
brought
with a
in-
fucking Night Stalker guy.
That's a whole
Night
singer
Stalker.
there.
Night Stalker.
Night
The Night
Stalker
Stalker
terrorizing
slain.
Los Angeles.
One of the most prolific serial
can
killers,
handle
brutal
myself.
serial killer of all
Close
time.
to every fat girl in Hollywood.
Maxine. I'm the private detective.
Kevin Bacon. I love this
I
80s
employ
music
us.
too.
They're
Laura
powerful,
Branigan
man.
song. Look at Kevin Bacon,
Fast.
guys.
Ain't finished with you. It's
Look
gonna
at
keep
this shit.
knocking at your
Homage to the
door.
Bates Motel.
Tragically, another victim.
Ah, that's my boy right there. I love that guy.
I knew 3 people who were murdered in 3 days.
Bobby Cannavale,
I'm pretty
my
scared.
man.
What are you hiding, Maxine?
Harvard.
I mean,
So-
Shah, Kevin Bacon. This is huge for Ty West.
Yeah, I like them including like the Bates Motel and the Night Stalker. Like it's cool that they took these. I
Real
wish they
murders
would have
and stuff.
like real life stuff
Hollywood.
from the 80s. I like that a lot about it.
1985. That was a big. I was in 8th grade, guys. I was 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
By the way, every movie in this trilogy feels very different, which is pretty hard to do.
They're
Like
genre pictures.
Pearl,
I mean, they're all genre pictures.
Pearl was completely different than X. X was like a grindhouse movie. Pearl was like
Oh,
an artsy. This is more
yeah.
of like a not like a giallo, but like a slasher film
Looks-
from the 80s. Like
It's not a. It doesn't look like a horror movie, B-show. This is what Mike from Necromaniacs and I were talking about. This feels like a thriller.
Yeah, I can dig that. I can also see some of the Jalo aspect of it too,
Oh, for
except
sure.
like you know who the
Color
killer is, you
schemes,
think.
the color
And that's
scheme.
the one thing I was going to say, Shot, too, is when we talk about movies and serialization and sequels and stuff like that, a lot of times like characters and premises run thin. This was very smart to do 3 very different movies with very different feels, very different styles, and
Same
only really,
character, pretty much.
yeah, really, and
Yeah, same,
actually, in the
more
first
or less.
movie, she played someone completely different who,
That's right.
you know what I mean? So it overlaps, but it's not like, hey, it's the same premise, the same exact thing. It's 3 completely different, types of movie going on.
Now, did either one of you guys know that she became a horror actress from porn to horror? Because it seems like that's part of the film. The film. Did you know that? I didn't know that at all.
No, I've actually never seen the trailer. I was saving it for the show.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, let's get to it. Sorry about that.
If I tell you
Yeah.
something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
Is that Gina Carlo Esposito?
No, it looks like it.
Whatever's going on in your life that's interfering with this picture, squash it.
I intend to.
Nice.
Maxine.
You're a fucking movie star.
God damn, dude, she's fucking. Oh,
Lily Collins. Giancarlo
It was
Esposito,
Gina
wasn't
Carlo
it?
Esposito, yeah.
Wow.
yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold. This is fucking.
Shot. Like, is that the movie you're looking forward to? Probably maybe the most this year.
Yeah, I mean, going into it right off the bat, without even seeing the trailer, I could have told you that. I'm a big fan of Ty West and obviously A24, and even a bigger fan of her because, I mean, dude, she's the type of girl that would go to the bar with you and you take a shot of tequila and she asks you to like spit it in her mouth. Like she's that type of girl. You just tell.
she's
You know what I mean?
she's absurd.
You just tell.
She's just absurd.
You know?
B-Show, does this fulfill your? I mean, you're such a fan. You were a fan of X. You were a super fan of Pearl. And of course, we all think Ty West here is just an understated kind of great fucking director. I mean,
Yeah.
is this what you wanted?
Yeah, I was hopeful. But guarded about the 80s thing. Because as we've seen from AHS 84, a lot of times they just slap neon on shit and corny
Yeah,
outfits.
sometimes some of their shit's pretty good there in American Horror Story.
Yeah, but in this case, I feel like they nailed it because not only do you see the neon and it looks like the 80s, but also it's got that grungy, filmy kind of
Yeah, the
nasty
film
vibe
quality.
to
I was
it.
going to ask you guys about that. The cinematography for this, it looks like it's shot directly to old school like film. Not
Yes,
the video.
yeah. No, it looks good, and honestly, I'm waiting to see where the Night Stalker thing goes because at first I wasn't too sold on it, but honestly, from what it looks like and from Ty West, I'm gonna just kind of give him a pass on this one and go with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm super excited. We're very big fans of Ty West here. We're big fans of Mia Goth. We're big fans of this trilogy, and this does not disappoint. The fact that Ty West can go from making a small, I think we said what was it, like 3 or 4 million? I think was X. Pearl was made 2 weeks on $1 million. And now he's got a movie, guys, with Kevin Bacon, Giancarlo Esposito, Bobby Cannavale, Halsey. It looks like it's getting a big push. It's got that Vice City soundtrack that somebody, I think Cleric or somebody mentioned. One of these songs is from Vice City, and
Yeah,
I bet you this soundtrack's going to be a banger. I'll tell you that. I'm excited about the soundtrack too.
I can't wait till they release it on on vinyl or whatever, but it's probably gonna be like
Yeah.
$50 or $60. Something
Oh yeah,
fucking
Shah.
ridiculous.
How much you think this?
Yeah.
Do you imagine this gatefold 80s vinyl fucking is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, A24 puts out their own vinyls. They're typically like around $50. So,
Okay. Okay, $50. So
which honestly is fair. I mean, that's the average.
I think that's
price of
fine. I think that's fine.
normal vinyl. I mean,
Going-
waxwork, they charge about the same. So,
Not to be outdone, a couple days later, finally the legit trailer for Todd Phillips' sequel to the Joker film starring Lady Gaga, as Michael Scott, I think would say. Um, uh, I thought this looked fucking incredible. If you hadn't seen it yet, we're going to show it now. These are not very long trailers, but this is going to be an enormous film, obviously coming off of an Academy Award for Joaquin Phoenix. Lady Gaga has been nominated for so many awards for her music and her songs, and she's done a lot of great work in film, actually. I'm not a huge fan of her music, but I like her quite a bit as a person, and she's got a phenomenal presence. Todd Phillips, looks like he's delivering here. So we're going to check it out now. The Joker Fola. What is this? How do you pronounce this B show?
Isn't it Fale Adieu?
Fale adieu. Fale adieu. Shot right off the bat. I'm like, holy shit.
Man,
Man,
through the bars.
Got a joke for us today.
it looks like they sent him to Kensington for a couple months. He's skinny as fuck.
He's so method though, guys. Look at him. He's so method, dude. Like he is just the
We
quickest
use
MU
music
actor right now.
to make us whole,
It looks like he's on meth.
to balance.
He looked like in the first movie.
within
Shot.
ourselves.
I love. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Wow.
I'm
That's
nobody.
fucking. Look at that. That's fucking gorgeous, man.
I haven't done anything with my life like you have.
And here we go.
Good place to
Jesus.
pause it.
Right off the bat, shot cinematography.
Yeah, that's a 10
Motherfucker.
out of 10, dude. Everything is a painting. Like, this is just my
Come on.
dick part over here.
Jesus Christ. Bisho, I mean, you notice these shots like are just on a level of like high art, like right off the
That's
bat.
one thing I've really liked about a lot of movies that come out from guys like this lately is you watch a trailer and it's not so much like we've seen so many trailers where it's like, oh, this is what happens in the movie, and then this happens, and
Yeah,
this
they give you the
happens.
whole movie and then yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is just like it's almost like a series of, I mean, they're moving, but still images that look like fucking paintings and works of art. It's just fantastic.
I think it looks grimy. Do you guys think it looks a little grimy, like dirty? Like
Yes.
I don't like it looks like a like we were just in a dirty asylum. It's raining, it's dark. Nobody looks good. You know what I mean, Shot? It just looks very grimy to me.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was kind of like that too, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, well, here we go. Now we're gonna get
Oh shit. It's just one after another.
I like movies like this where everybody looks like they might have like a STD,
yeah, everybody
you know?
dude, look at that. Look at this shit. Fucking crazy. Like a nightmare.
Like Joaquin got
Jeez.
syphilis on purpose just to fans. It's cinematography. Holy shit.
Burt Bacharach in a Joker movie?
Oh my god. Look at this shot. Look at this shot. Look at that. Jesus. Wow.
Jesus.
Tom Jones. I think.
Oh, that's Tom Jones.
Yeah, that's dope.
Tell us,
Look at these.
what's changed? Are there? I'll tell you what's changed. We're not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.
Damn.
Oh my god.
This is great. Watch the shot.
I want to see the real you.
Dude, look at this.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm about to come. Holy shit.
I know, I'm like,
Even, I mean,
Over here.
honestly, there's just no way this is bad. I'm sorry. I'm like blown away. And I just shop. What do you,
Dude, my balls just dropped again in my fucking 30s. Right? There's no
Shah's
way.
going
this
through
movie's bad.
puberty again.
Yeah, I just, oh my god, man. And for people that were saying this is like a musical and it's going to be bad, like, boy, you better shut the fuck up because this
look at
looks,
it.
this looks amazing.
Yeah. I have to say, I didn't know what I was going to see. And B-Show, I just feel like this looks like the first movie on steroids.
Dude, it looks like a high class horror where it's stylish, dressed nice, looks great, hair's in place, but you know it's dirty. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, like Shah said, it looks like everybody's got some kind of disease. Like, you know. Like,
Yeah. Like everybody's
But,
got
yeah, I
COVID.
mean, but Shah, cinematography. Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here with this. I mean, this is like high art, man.
Yeah, I mean, the cinematography is out of this world, dude. Like, I mean, just that last shot. I mean, who thinks of that? That's fucking, oh my God.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the woman who did the cinematography win an Academy Award as well, B-Show? I feel like she did. It was a woman who won, I think, cinematography for this movie, along with Joaquin Phoenix.
you may be right. I'd have to verify that. I don't remember.
It seems like so long ago. I mean, Shah, any chance you're not going to see this in a big screen?
I'm going to try my hardest, man. You know, I haven't seen a movie in the theater for shit, man, months now.
That's a great scene too. I love that with the Arkham B show. That's such that's such a big dick fucking move right there with the Arkham in the background.
You know what, guys? I don't know. Would you agree with me or not? I'm getting Beau is Afraid vibes from this.
Okay, very fair there.
Just
Very
like because
fair.
like there was one scene where it looked like he was running from himself. It was very reminiscent of the first movie when he got hit by the car. This on top of the Hotel Arkham when Arkham is an asylum. Like I
Yeah,
just and
maybe.
especially with him being an unreliable narrator last time, like it
Which
almost
is
looks
this?
like
He's clearly an unreliable narrator here, Bisha.
yeah, it almost looks like
He's crazy.
I'm not saying it is, but it could all be in his head, and it's this grand vision, delusion of
That's true
grandeur.
too, Shah. Like maybe none of this is actually really taking place.
Yeah, I think somebody in the chat room actually mentioned that.
Did they?
Yeah, Joe Punches. Yeah.
Punches said that. Okay.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, well, listen, if that's the case, I mean, none of this has been leaked. Nobody knows anything about this other than what we've seen. I'm excited. B-Show, definitely getting your ass to a theater for this.
Absolutely, man. This looks amazing. And then if with it all juxtaposed to Tom Jones singing Burt Bacharach's What
Burt
the World
Bacharach,
Needs
yeah.
Now.
Yeah, and that's
Oh
what,
my God.
so there is, I just want to bring this up in case because we don't know what we're getting because it's not coming out till October. Todd Phillips has said this is not a musical. He said music is a component of this. It's a component of the story, but it is not a musical. Now, there are people that are concerned that they are saying that because they feel that that would poison the well. But a Todd Phillips shot doesn't seem like that kind of a dude. Like, I don't know. He just, you know what I mean? Like, if he says it's not a musical, it's not a musical.
That doesn't seem like it's a musical. I mean,
yeah. It is an R-rated film, by the way, for people in the chat. It is R-rated.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at this, dude. This looks, oh my God.
I mean, Beau is afraid, but you don't get Beau is Afraid vibes. B-Show, I think, nailed it with this.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I love this grimy, whatever they're putting in front of this shot, the can to make it look dirty. Like, look at even these like 70s looking 80s old school New York police cars, guys. Police cars haven't looked like this in New York in like 30 years, 25 years. And it's all, shot in like Brooklyn and like Queens and the Bronx. I'm excited. I don't know what we're going to get. I'm excited. I like both of them quite a bit. I like Todd Phillips. And previously, Joaquin Phoenix, this might have been one of the greatest performances of the 21st century. I mean, it just is. But not to be outdone. Now, I am going to have to run with this movie a little bit because many people have seen the original Speak No Evil. It's like a foreign film. It is a very good movie. Maybe one of the better horror films in the last 5 years. I don't want to give away the plot because it's a quintessential part of the story, not knowing where this is going. But this was a foreign film that was incredibly jarring and disturbing. Can you pull up B-Show just a foreign for the original Speak No Evil? I just want to know what I'm trying to remember if it was like Danish or Swiss or. But if you have not seen
what
the
year?
Speak No Evil Shutter, just put Speak No Evil Shutter because that was on Shutter. It was a Shutter exclusive, I think, for a while. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. My brother Mike told me, I think he had saw it like late in the year it came out, and said this is one of the best horror films of the year. And then I watched it, and the ending made me want to like take a shower till I passed out. Like the ending was just so agonizing to fucking
Is it
watch.
2013? Is it that far ago?
I don't think so.
No, we talked about it on the show.
We did, but I'm the only one who's seen it.
There's one that says 2022.
2022.
Yeah,
that's it. So they remade an American version of this. Unfortunately, Blumhouse is involved in some capacity. But can you pull that up, Bisha? I just want to see what country it was based because they speak several languages in it, including English.
I was making sure I wasn't spoiling anything if pictures came
Yeah,
up.
no. I mean, it's too involved plot.
Yeah, language Danish and Dutch, and it's distributed by Nordisk Film.
Okay,
so I would imagine it's Danish.
Yeah. Now, both of you guys have heard of this movie. It is it is like on a list of fucked up movies. This is in the top 5. That's all I can say. It was so popular that they immediately rushed an American version with big name actors and actresses. Can we pull up the 2024 version? Because the director, my brother Mike, put me on blast, is a great director. A director who's done some good shit. So we should have some full faith and credit in this director, B-Show.
James Watkins?
James Watkins. What has James Watkins done? He has done Eden Lake, banger. The Woman in Black, good movie. He also did, I think, the sequel to The Descent, which is not as good as The Descent. The Descent's great. You guys have never seen Eden Lake?
No.
Shah, you've never seen Eden Lake?
No, but I'm familiar with it. I've never seen it.
The last shot of that movie is on a whole other level. So this director's got chops. They remade an American version of it It looks shot for shot. For people that have seen it, we're going to play the trailer for it right now, and it's called Speak No Evil, and it comes out in theaters this summer.
This is my husband, Ben.
Patrick Feld. This is my wife, Kira.
This is Agnes.
Has some trouble communicating. He can be a bit insecure.
Nice Vespa. Yeah, isn't she? You should try.
Yeah, we.
I won't call the fun police if you don't.
Okay.
So you have two couples, I think in this case they're in Italy, that meet, that have small children, and they become friends. They hang out. It looks like that kind of a movie, right?
Doctor, listen, you have to come
Yeah, I
and
think it
visit.
said Tuscany.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just-
Tuscany, yeah.
It looks like a nice little rom-com type of
Yeah,
thing to start out.
so let this roll here for a little bit. Look at this backdrop, gorgeous.
It's like Infinity Pool.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So they invite the couple they meet to go visit them where they live in their country,
Remind you, I'm a vegetarian.
and this is where it goes
Our
off the
gifts
rails.
to you.
That is so. I'm.
This is
Louise,
literally a
doctor's
shot-for-shot
orders.
scene.
Who is that? I know that actor.
You'll know, yeah. I can never remember his name. He's Scottish.
Very good.
He was in the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
Split?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great weekend.
So now they went to visit this family, and they're acting very weird. So you'll see some
17
stuff here.
years.
Got a little
Wow.
volume here, B.
You get less than murder.
That's almost all the way up.
So the wife suspects there's some weird behavior.
Something's not right with him.
He has a condition. It makes it hard for him to communicate.
Sometimes it's okay to think things, but you can't actually say them. Oh no.
Thank God there's a doctor in the house.
I'm not a doctor. What?
This is all shot for
But
shot.
didn't you
It's
say you
crazy.
were a doctor?
Did I?
Oh shit.
Look at their faces. Of course I'm a bloody doctor.
Now, mind you, they met these people in Tuscany. They went to another country to go
Agnes, why
stay
don't
with
you
them.
and show us the dance that you've been working on.
Oh, this is another shot for shot. Same song too. by the way.
And what is wrong with you? Just
Can we pause it for a second?
them in
Yeah,
your feet.
pause it.
Right, one,
Not to make it about race, but I feel like this is something that would only happen to white people. Where you just
I was
like,
just gonna say that, dude. God damn. We're on
I
the same
can't
page.
imagine. I can't imagine.
For all you know,
meeting
that's
some
part of the
strangers.
story.
I can't imagine
no
meeting
honkies.
some random
Speak no
strangers
honkies.
and just like being like, yeah, let me go to a different country with these random strangers I just met. Like what?
White people do shit like that.
That's what I'm
white-
saying. This is not no other
It is
culture would
white
do
people.
this.
They could have just called it white people shit. That's really what they could have
Yeah.
called it. Now again, they're in a foreign country. They went to visit these people. They just traveled like they thought they were normal, and now everything is breaking down while they're there.
2, 3, 4. This is the one.
So that's their son that doesn't speak.
What is wrong with you? I want to pack up the car and I want to leave right now.
Also shot.
Does he have no tongue?
I'm just sad to see you go.
You can then go out there and be completely normal.
We've been pretending it's normal since we got here. Dad?
Jesus.
Fucking A, dude.
Remember that time you guys came to stay?
Is
You
that
flipped out and
McAvoy?
tried to leave without
Yeah.
saying goodbye?
This fucking
God.
movie gets so fucked up. Like this movie takes a turn, guys. And once it until it gets to the turn, you're like, well, I don't really understand what's going on. And then when you understand what's going on and it takes that turn, it is such an unflinching, like the last 20 minutes of this movie, you're like this, like please make it stop. Just make it fucking stop. The ending is bleak. Shah, I know you've heard of the original because the original has been on a lot of people's repertoire. But this, I mean, it looks good. I mean, this does not look like a Blumhouse movie.
Is it a Blumhouse movie?
It's in they're in association. It's a
Ah.
Universal movie in association with Blumhouse. It's not like a traditional Blumhouse.
Yeah. It looks intriguing. I mean, I don't know the original story, so I you know a little bit more about it, but just off the trailer, I'm intrigued by it. It looks more like a thriller though. Is it a horror movie? Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah. It's.
I like the last scene though with the tongue. That was dope.
That's the least upsetting thing in the movie.
Oh Jesus!
If it is, it looks like it's shot. My brother Mike would talk about it, and it's like, okay, it looks shot for shot. If it's shot for shot, there's not a lot of American movies that will do what you're going to see in this movie. There's just not. There's just not, B-Show. I'm telling you, it goes there. it goes exactly. It goes to the place that you think it's not going to go to because it's a movie.
Yeah. Which is surprising from Blumhouse, which is maybe why they signed on as either distributor or a producer as opposed
I
to
think
the
they,
main.
Universal is the distributor, so I think they're a co-producer.
Yeah, as opposed to it being a Blumhouse film.
Yeah,
this may be a little bit racy for them. Which, hey, for them to grow some balls and do that after the past couple franchise bombs that have been very tame by comparison in some cases.
Yeah,
I mean,
and there's no
maybe they
way
get some steam
it's
back. I don't
PG.
know.
This is an impossible PG-13 movie. Trust me, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Bisho, can you just pull up the cast? I want to know who the women are. So the guy who plays the protagonist father, he's from Fleabag, very, very big show. I like the show quite a bit. Phoebe Waller-Bridgers, I think was her name. He played a priest in there. He's a good actor. That guy's solid. But the girl looks very familiar, the blonde wife. Who is
Mackenzie
she?
Davis.
Who is Mackenzie Davis?
That name sounds familiar.
Oh, she's from the Blade. Did you guys see Blade Runner? The remake, the Blade Runner remake?
I didn't.
I heard it's really good though.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, she plays a prostitute in that. She's really good. She ended up in the bad Terminator. She's a good actress, but she's been in some weird movies.
Have you seen The Turning? I see that on there.
I feel like I might have. It sounds familiar. Yeah, she's been in a bunch of shit.
How was The Martian? Was that any good?
I couldn't get through it. I got very bored with it.
Yeah.
I got very bored with it. Tully, I've seen. Tully was okay. She's got I don't know, she's got a pretty face, you know.
Meh.
I don't know if she's American. She's got like an interesting, she played Sarah Connor, I think, possibly in one of the Terminators. She got cock diesel for that.
Yeah, that's
wow, look at that. Wow.
I don't think that's real.
I don't think that's real. I think that's AI.
She looks like she belongs in like. She looks like she belongs in like a reboot of like Sex and the City or something.
Yeah,
or that kind of face.
Well, Shah doesn't like it because she's got a long neck, so that's
Yeah,
she just looks very generic.
Bisho, who's plays the wife? Because I don't recognize. She's the only one I don't recognize. James McAvoy is obviously the star of the movie. There's not a lot of characters in this. There's very few people. You're seeing everybody in the film. Who is she?
Aisling from I can't even pronounce that.
Aisling Franciosa. What is she from?
Stop motion.
Oh, she's the main girl from Stop Motion, which, by the way, everyone said was fantastic. And she's from The Fall. Okay, I know that TV.
Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, wow. She's the girl from that. Holy shit.
Don't forget Nightingale.
You've been telling me about Nightingale forever. She's the star of Nightingale.
Banger, dude. I fucking love that movie.
See that. I need to watch that, dude.
Yo, you would like that a lot, dude. You got to check that out.
To see Nightingale. God
damn
it. What was the premise of that without giving the form away? What was the premise of that
film? It's basically a girl that gets like lost in the woods. She runs away and she teams up with this like young slave, and they try to fight off against all the bigots out there.
Yeah, she's got
pretty brutal. It's pretty fucking violent. It's not a horror movie, but it's violent.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty got some pretty fucked up scenes in it, if I remember correctly, like some brutal killing scenes. Right? It's on Hulu. Oh wow, fuck. Gots to be watching that. Bisho, what's your thoughts on this movie?
Looks pretty brutal. Not going to be sugarcoating that one. If it goes where I think it's going to go, that's going to be. I mean, he cut the kid's tongue out with it. You know what I mean? How it's got to go south from there. It's got to get worse. So
yeah,
I'm intrigued, but it's one of those movies where it's like I might need a chaser after it, to cleanse my palate. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but when I tell you that's like on 3, on a scale of 1 to 10 on fucked up things. I'll say this before we head over to Patreon, because we have so many things we need to talk about Patreon. I really feel like the year on paper, movie wise, and this is just scratching the surface, could be a very big year. We're getting, let's not forget, we have like Deadpool 3. It's going to be a fucking monster movie. It looks fucking fantastic as far as that goes. Currently, right now, we still have in theaters Dune 2, which is at this point, it's the best movie I've seen all year. You also have a Ghostbusters movie, which I heard is not very good, but it's doing pretty well. You also have a King Kong movie, which I heard is not that great, but also is doing very well. Now we're going to have a Planet of the Apes movie. Let's not forget that we're going to have a lot more horror movies, including Smile 2, including Terrifier 3. I mean, Bisho, on paper, the year's looking pretty goddamn good, especially these 3 movies we just fucking talked about.
It's pretty stacked, and I'm surprised that it really didn't get rolling until now. There's been only a handful of movies that have come out for 2024 that we've even had on our radar. And it seems
Yeah.
like all these movies starting in the summertime and into the fall, it's really going to get, pretty intense. So,
Yeah.
although I think we talked about it last week. That one, You'll Never Find Me was pretty good. That was on Shudder.
Yes, you watched it. I'm going to talk about The Omen and the Patreon. Shot. I mean, you got to think now. I mean, you were saying like, look, it's not looking like a great year. Last year wasn't that great a year. This is looking way better than last year. Don't you think on paper at least?
Yeah, I think last year, most of the good movies that came out weren't horror related. We had a lot of good like blockbuster type movies.
Blockbusters. It was the year of the blockbuster. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had the Yorgos Lanthimos movie. We had fucking Napoleon and
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon. We had Oppenheimer. There was a lot of big time
small
fucking
art
movies.
house movies like The Holdovers and
Yeah.
that movie the Korean based movie that I saw that I can't remember the name that I fucking loved. It was one of my favorite movies of the year.
Past Lives?
Oh my god, it's fucking phenomenal, Bisha. It's phenomenal. It's maybe one of the best independent films I've ever seen.
It was Asteroid City last year.
Yeah, Asteroid City was last year. It didn't do well, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. You know what I mean? I think horror kind of didn't knock people out, but the blockbuster shot they were great. I mean, like Oppenheimer and Killers of, I mean, it was just Barbie. It was just, you were just beaten to death with these movies from like the summer on.
Yeah, I think this year we're getting a lot of different type of movies as far as the blockbusters. They're more like the Ghostbuster, like I don't know,
franchise.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. We forgot about
those type of movies. We're not getting so many of those like masterpieces, like Killers. Like we're not getting a Scorsese film or anything like that. So
no, we might get that Coppola movie, which we'll talk about if that Megalopolis movie, but apparently is the most batshit fucking craziest thing ever shot. But yeah, I definitely think the year is turning around, But guys, we have a shit ton of stuff we want to talk about in that Patreon. Obviously, we would love for you to go to patreon.com/Spitball Media. Sign up. You can get to be a part of the Q&A. You get access to 1,300 hours roughly of exclusive content. It's only $5. Great bargain. Thank you to the new people for showing up. Thank you to the tons of people chilling in the chat tonight. We really, really appreciate it. We hope you'll join us again next week because we'll probably have a ton of new and wonderful entertainment stories. But we're heading over to Patreon. But before we do that, we always like to talk about our friends and plug them, like Deathmatch Outlaws, like the Drew Yari Experience, like I said, Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, and of course the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Currently, right now, Necromaniacs is shooting an episode right now. Don't know when it'll come out, but you want to be checking them out for weekly horror rundowns of a movie every week. And of course, the Human Experience podcast. I'll be joining the boys over in the UK on Ringsiders Wrestling to talk a little bit about WrestleMania and some other stuff this weekend. Mojo and Dirk's most dastardly show, The Garden of Doom. And then we have the Old Guy Metalcast, our good friend Ronald Anderson and his clothing company, funkbetty.com. You should be checking them out to get some lovely spring clothes. MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. Of course, my dear friend Sam Hoyos, his band Playing Dead and his podcast, The Red River Podcast. Bayou Geeks, that's Fateh 316. Of course, the High Marks Podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, the Weekly Detour with Anthony Alston and Teddy. And of course, the Guns and Geeks podcast. Shah, anything happening at the old Planet Mondo?
Yeah, I'll be streaming on Sunday night. So, go subscribe to Planet Mondo. Sunday night, I'll be going over some movie stuff, and I also want to follow up on the Diddy and also J. Cole versus Kendrick Lamar. I want to
and if there was no wrestling story, we would have done a very deep dive on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm very curious about that. And I don't think there's been a cool rapper since like 2000 that came out. B-Show, what's happening on the B-Show Brian channel?
Trying to figure out what I want to do because I don't know if I have enough time to do long form stuff like I used to, or the documentary type of shit that I used to, or edited videos. It just takes way too long. So I think I'm going to stick to shorter content, commentaries. I've been doing some TikTok stuff, and Chunky Lair and I went back and forth a little bit. He's awesome. Follow him too. Chunky
I've
Lair
known him forever. Yeah, we've been friends.
Yeah,
forever.
awesome. So yeah, just bsharpbrian.com, like, subscribe, and when I put something up pretty soon, you'll see it. And you were also on Soup this past week doing the WrestleMania stuff.
I did a couple episodes of Soup. I did the WrestleMania Night 1 recap, and then I also did the pre-WrestleMania show. And I'll be joining I'm going to save it for next week, but I committed to do I'm doing Ringsiders, but I committed to do a very interesting new podcast that's getting a lot of attention. I don't want to talk about it yet because we're gonna wait.
Oh, I think I know, but I'm not
I
going to say.
gotta. Yeah, there's a. I'll be joining a puppet in a couple of weeks for a podcast. That's all I'm gonna say about that for right now. But guys, you're gonna want to join us over on Patreon. We love that you guys are chilling with us tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week in the old Spitball Media.
Peace.